one of the largest Christian platforms out there. And out of respect, I will never say their name. I had the opportunity to do a devotion for them. Mm-hmm. And it just got pulled for two reasons. One, because I posted on social media about Charlie Kirk after his death. And the second one, I've posted about Israel. Those were the two they listed. To me, that reveals a church. Now, if you want to talk about, I've talked about LGBTQ, I've talked at the RNC, I do politics, if you want to tell me those were too controversial for you, then I would understand. I would disagree with you, but I could understand you don't want to dip your toes. But for me, and I found out later, I wasn't the only one. Somebody else was pulled because all they did was a rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. But what it reveals to me is the state of the church right now.
Yeah.
That you're telling me Israel's too controversial, and we can get in that in a minute, because I know you went to Israel just a couple weeks after Charlie's funeral. And then to tell me when a man was killed, whether you're a Christian or not a Christian, a man, a father, a husband, a friend was murdered and was a martyr, and to talk about it, and that's too controversial. And those were the only two reasons.
They actually admitted that, which is hard for me to believe, because the Apostle Paul, by the way, on 6 occasions named false teachers by name. Because how else are you going to be able to avoid people who say they're following Jesus if you don't know they're really not following Jesus? So at some point, if people are suggesting that they're following Jesus and they won't acknowledge the martyrdom of obviously a Christian, and they can't talk about the state of Israel, I would question whether or not they're really following the Bible at all. And it might be at some point worthwhile after you inform them to say, I'm sorry, I'm going to come out and say what you did because this is not biblical. It's not biblical to avoid acknowledging such an event and a political assassination of a Christian. Whether or not you agreed with him on every political issue or not, I think that's crazy. He was strong on the big issues. In fact, maybe we could take some time to talk about how Jesus was involved in politics when he went after the Pharisees, who were the political leaders of his day, and he scolded them for tithing their spices, but they neglected the more important matters of the law. Justice was the first thing he talked about. And I would submit to you that anybody out there watching, if you think that banning plastic straws, which some of the Democrats wanted to do, is the right thing to do, while they wanted to use taxpayer money to fund abortion and the mutilation of children, I would submit to you that you are neglecting the more important matters of the law, and Jesus would have scolded you for that.